Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 27th, and right now I am in Encino or Vaughn, New Mexico, somewhere right in between those two little towns here, kind of central New Mexico. I'll be out here chasing probably up into Colorado today, but we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery now. You can see those storms that fired up overnight across some of the Great Plains out here and across the Pacific Northwest, where there actually was a landspout tornado across eastern Washington yesterday. Almost just looked like a dust devil. It'd be hard to tell, except for the clouds above it. And right now we're dealing with this onshore push that's coming. It's going to cool us down here across Pacific Northwest after the 82-degree day yesterday. I saw some pictures from friends back there and just how warm it was there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that heat. And we get the general cool down coming up here. But then we may bounce back. We'll take a look at that here in the long run range of the models here. Look at that, Seattle, 82 degrees yesterday. Still not a record high for the day, but the definite cool down you'll feel today. Now, if we take a look at the wider view of things, you can see Alaska, BC, Washington, Oregon. This is yesterday afternoon's European run. So you can see the ridge that was keeping us warm here. And the troughing, kind of trying to make a return to the Pacific Northwest. But you see that ridging building across Canada here. Kind of going to be right on the fringe of that trough and that ridge for a while. But then it looks like that ridge may be taking over here. And we would be warming up as we go on in through early June across Pacific Northwest. This is something we'll look at greater detail here in upcoming runs. But you can kind of see the troughing across the desert southwest, the big blue blob down there at 18,000 feet. It looks like severe weather season may be continuing on into early June, and there's some interesting signals there aloft coming out into the southern plains. So I'll probably be chasing off into the early June portion here before I go back to work towards the end of the period here at Alaska Airlines. This is the GFS. You can see the ridge that kept us warm and the trough kind of bringing that onshore flow here. Trough hanging out right off the Pacific Northwest. Check out that ridge building over Canada. That trough starts to retrograde a bit out towards the Gulf of Alaska. You see the GFS is not as strong with the ridge over the Pacific Northwest. That trough is much closer here as we go through early June. So we'll see how this trends in future runs. You see the model disagreement between the European and the GFS. This is lightning flash density potential, and I'm going to stop in here because you can see that pop-up thunderstorm activity across some of the Cascades, BC, Eastern Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana today. Generally nothing to be expected or west of the Cascades as far as thunderstorm activity. This is looking at the composite reflectivity. You can kind of see the spin in the atmosphere again across eastern Washington and Oregon today. You could get a thunderstorm to pop up there. Don't be too surprised about that. And kind of see the spin across Montana through this afternoon. Some stronger storms probably off through eastern Montana through this afternoon and evening as well. Now we'll go ahead through Sunday again. You can kind of see that activity going on across extreme southern Oregon and southern and eastern Idaho there, maybe off in through Wyoming. This is looking at that landspout tornado yesterday. National Weather Service Spokane here. This is near Moses Lake. It doesn't look any stronger than some of the dust devils that I've seen out there, but quite an interesting little feature there, that landspout tornado. Defined so because there was thunderstorms around yesterday, and you can see the clouds around also, so not a typical dust devil origination. This is looking at daily max 2-meter temperature. You can see for Seattle, 72 today. You can see pretty warm still in eastern Washington, Oregon out there, and the warmth down into the California Valley. This would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So maybe starting to warm back up a little bit next weekend. We'll see how the models trend with that ridge over Canada, but it does look like maybe a little bit of a warming trend coming up here. But you saw the differences between the GFS and the European model. Now looking here, this is day one. I'll be chasing out here probably into northern Colorado and southern Wyoming today. Slight chance for probably a brief tornado today, so we'll go out and take a look at that. This would be day two. They mentioned chance for some landspout tornadoes down there southeast Colorado, so we may stay for that one. But after that, you can see that it cuts off for a couple days at least here as we go through Monday. That threat will shift north across some of the Dakotas there. And this is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. You can see the bullseye here is still calling for that potential for the ridge here across Pacific Northwest. This would go through June 9th. This is a precipitation probability outlook, and you can see the dry conditions, potentially western Washington, and the wetter than normal conditions across California, Nevada, and through portions of Idaho and Montana. Some of that signal even creeping up towards Washington as well. We'll watch this trend over the next few days, and when I get home, I'll be able to take a closer look at it here. But yeah, there we go. You can see the storms firing out there. We'll be out there chasing again today. Saw a couple tornadoes yesterday, fully condensed brief tube out there was kind of fun. But anyway, I'll probably be back on some point by Monday at the latest, so I'll be picking up my regular briefings then when I get back home. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys are enjoying these videos on the road. I'm in the Desert Motel here, kind of an interesting little hotel out here. I did a review. I'll probably be uploading that today at some point, so maybe you guys can check out that video as well. But anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys then.